I know, I've missed you. Probably more than you've missed me. All right, let's start. Starting off, I have Miss Lindsay Jones. Give her your energy. Give her all of your energy. Oh yeah. Next, I have Eberle. Arryn Zech. Dunkelman! Last but certainly not least, Michael Jones! Look at that charisma. Oh my. Welcome.
Hello. It's me.
It's them, guys.
Wait, and us. I took his pillow.
Same color.
Everybody good?
Oh, I won.
All right.
We should trade.
All right. Take whatever.
There we go.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Lindsay. I'm the voice of Sage. Hello. This is Josh.
Hello.
Hello. How y'all feeling?
Shalom.
Everyone good? Hey.
That is a Sunday match.
It is, yeah.
Michael, what's going on in your head right now? Just, I want to really know you.
What's going on in my head is Barbara and I got the good couch. We got space.
I'm going to sit on both of your laps. Just like Blake would,
Good luck.
actually.
Good job.
That
move,
Blake,
yeah.
little Blake Sammy.
Will you decide already?
I know what I want.
There was I don't know if you're here right now, but there's someone who came to our booth who said that all of Blake's love interests are at this con.
They are.
It's Sun, Yang, and
Ilya.
Jeremy, who plays Ilya, is here. And so they were like, oh, you guys should do like the dating show.
Yeah. And Adam is dead. What a bad word.
Good job.
I
Good
stopped
job.
myself.
I'm very
I
proud of
normally
you.
do not stop myself.
Bachelor number 1!
Yeah. I'd do that. If we were, Bachelor number 1, if we were to go on a date, where would you take me? Where's Blake
Who's
suddenly
the
like,
bachelor? Who's supposed to answer?
you.
That side of the couch.
Oh, contestant, no, it's Bachelor. Contestant number 1. I
know.
screwed that up.
I didn't know I was a part of what was happening.
No, because you're my potential love interest.
Right, but that wasn't Blake at all, what you just did.
I know.
So it doesn't make sense.
I was being obnoxious. You know what? Get off my
This
butt.
is why she
Hey,
wasn't
you know what?
interested
Hey,
in you,
stay on your
sir.
own couch. Stay on your own couch.
You know what? This is over.
Son, you always do this.
All right, we have eliminated contestant number 1.
Right.
Where's Neptune?
I would actually, Sea Monkey, I am very much into that. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. No? Okay. Nobody wants to see Sea Monkey?
I'm all about Sea Monkey.
We gotta be.
I'm for it.
Okay, well, we're introducing ourselves.
Gotta be in the show first.
I think so.
But you're in my heart.
Right, that doesn't count.
Do you want us to like leave the room for a bit?
Yeah, somebody
you guys
call
need
somebody
a
call
minute?
Carrie. Get him here.
Carrie.
Get Neptune here, and we'll just hang out. Where's our spin off?
I mean, Blake likes tuna too.
What's a
It's
book?
like turn on.
Blake is just gonna have a harem.
Yeah, but you got to get them on the same page.
Yeah.
I'll
The
talk
harem's
to
got to be on the same page.
Well, we're going to be like
can't
every
just
other
have, like,
90s anime. It's
I'll
going to be
talk to-
Rwby Moyu.
Are
It's
you guys
great.
not interested? You think Sun would be interested in Yang? This is not a conversation we should be having.
Okay. Kara and I were whispering, and also it's just funny because Kara, being Weiss in a very Weiss-like manner, she goes, "Are we meant to introduce ourselves?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. We're talking
You
about
already
ships."
did that. That's literally.
Hold on, this is getting good, Kara. Quiet. Hi, I'm Lindsay. I play the voice of Rwby in Rwby. Hello.
They know.
It's always good to introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Kara.
Hello.
That sounded very boring. I am Kara Eberle, and I voice Weiss in Rwby. I'm Arryn Zech, and I voice Blake Belladonna.
I'm Barbara. I voice Sun.
They don't.
You're such a killjoy.
This is all I got.
This is it. This is my entire personality.
I went to Michael right before I went, watch this.
Yeah, I watched.
It didn't do anything. I voice Yang.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
See, they know.
I'm Michael Jones, and I am the voice of Sun Wukong, who, at this point now, I've represented more on panels than in the show. Every year I'm on the Rwby panel, it makes less and less sense.
I miss you so much, though.
That's what everyone says, but where is it?
You make it Rwby's.
So,
I mean,
yes, this is the
like,
Rwby's.
it looks like we might be on an island in this next one. Who knows where we're
I don't want to give too much away, but I may have had a 2 or 3 minute recording session.
He actually just plays a side character.
Hey, I didn't
they
say
needed
it.
someone to go,
Yeah. Well, they're bringing back Forrest, but replacing Eric with me. So I'll be the
Solid.
voice of Forrest, and we're bringing back Fruity.
Justice for Forrest, you know?
Yeah.
Forest Team Rwby.
Rwby.
Aww.
I'm Team Leader, and I'm saying Team Rwby all the way.
Team
So,
Rwby.
you
Team
know.
Rwby.
Also, Michael, you can
What's
probably
up?
neither confirm nor deny, but Junior Detectives are back, right?
What?
You and Junior Detectives, you and Neptune,
What about
solving
them?
crimes.
Junior Detective.
No, where is it? Where's the show? Dude, remember Ruby Cheapy? I had so many lines. That was so cool. That's where Sun really got to spread his tail. I don't know.
Oh, God. Oh, like
make
his
it
wings,
weird.
spread his wings. I
Yeah,
was
but
like,
it doesn't
what do you,
have any.
What other things?
Curl his tail? I don't know. He could really hang from a, like, upside down.
That's how he really
by-
learned how to eat a banana.
Oh my
that?
gosh.
I didn't
There's
eat for
something
that
wrong
to
with
sound.
He doesn't like bananas, Kara.
What kind
That's
of
a
a-
stereotype.
He likes coconuts.
He likes, yeah, thank you.
That's not a stereotype.
Rwby Chibi was actually really hard at one point for me because Blake had to suddenly be very excited. And I had just finished recording Dr. Gray, and so I kept slipping into Dr. Gray, and it just wasn't working. It was a very frustrating session, and I went and got tacos afterwards.
think how hard it was for Pura
What do you mean?
Nothing
To be alive suddenly?
to be alive again. I mean, you really got to put yourself into that.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I'd rather not be dead. Sorry. Sorry, Pyrrha. We have seen some of the gnarliest Pyrrha cosplay, I feel.
Yeah, there's been a lot of, like I've seen,
half burnt.
and like there's been a lot of Jean cosplayers who come up to us with a jar of dust.
Yeah, jar of like ashes.
And you never really know how to react appropriately to it. It's like, wow, oh.
The first time that happened, it was at RTX first time I saw it anyway, it was a few years ago at RTX, and they had just a jar of gold glitter, and it was interesting because they didn't say anything when they came up, they just set the gold jar of glitter on like the table, and Arryn and I were like, wait, oh, that's weird, how'd you get, oh, that's weird. Anyway.
I thought that was part of the story.
They put the jar of glitter on, and we were like, wait, what's that? And they just called me and go, Pyrrha. And we were like, oh my gosh, we had never done
Dude,
that.
I remember when that happened. Lindsay showed me, like, the episode, and I said, good.
Boo.
This is why you
Have
should
you no
be on
heart?
Get rid of a
panels.
couple
Dang.
more, maybe a little bit more room for Sun. Too many characters.
Michael Jess, I
Come
will
back,
say.
come back evil.
I thought it was nice and a good testament to the writing of the show.
Evils.
You're on the Rwby panel. We're going to talk about every episode that has already come out. I'm sorry for anyone who's about to get spoiled, but hey.
Now is your chance to leave.
Right.
Run, run,
Get
run.
out! Get out now!
There's someone in the back of the room who just started, and they're like, Pyrrha!
Too late.
Oh yeah, we had.
Sorry.
Well, we were talking about Oscar as a character because that was when Oscar, at the time that we were having this discussion was when Oscar was introduced. And being anime fans, I was like, oh, it's like Arryn Dismuke, that's so cool. We're big Full Metal fans, now he's in the show, it's awesome. So I was explaining to Michael what happened with Oscar's like backstory and his connection with Ozpin, and if you know, you know. And after explaining everything that happened, the entire backstory with like him and Salem, etc., Michael just kind of like sits for a second and goes, that's really messed up. I was like, yeah, it sure is. But again, I think if we can overwhelm Michael, you know, I think we're doing a good job.
I like walking in on Lindsay watching an episode of Rwby, like after it's come out, and I go, what's going on here? And they're like, well, did you know about this part? And I go, kind of. I think, I heard rumblings about that. What's going on? So this guy, he's doing this. And I go, no way. Wait, Barbara did what? That's crazy.
Barbara didn't do anything. Dang, on the other hand.
You see, it's all meaningless.
I've done
Barbara,
that so many
I
times.
removed all joy from it.
Yeah.
You know, what's Arryn up to now? Nothing.
Whenever
Great. Where's son?
After the episode where I can say this, I'm gonna do this. After the episode where Weiss gets like an arrow through her, I immediately texted Barbara going, "Is Kara dead?"
I was like, what happened to Kara?
Yeah, we do that far too often, I think.
Well, it's also just the nature of Rwby too. We can talk about just like breaking down some of the barrier between audience and our process is a lot of studios will record actors separately, and we're the same way. We don't go into the booth together. Some people do that, like groups like Futurama's famous.
What did you say?
Like
Yoshi?
I know that.
Oh, okay.
No,
You
it's
lost
Toad.
it. Right, okay.
That was full MJ.
Yeah, there you go. You're back.
I can do Grandma from Squidbillies.
Oh, do it.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Dana?
like a grandma. Okay, so hold on. Give me no.
Go ahead.
You did a
So
great
here's the
job.
thing. The thing that I say for grandma is a little inappropriate, but I'm gonna do it. Okay. Let's put cough drops in our buttholes and play video games. There you go. That's grandma from.
All I heard was video games.
Let's put cough drops in our buttholes and play video games. That's how she plays video games.
Now do Master Chief.
So do you have any more Rwby questions for us?
I can only do grandma because it's the same person.
That's you do that, and then
I'll do Yang.
Shake. Because it's all Dana, right?
it's all Dana. It's just Dana going
You
like.
kind of do
you
something
meatball.
a little bit different, but it's
Yeah.
My grandma's either better when I first wake up or when I'm drunk. Is it good? You like that? I'm glad someone likes it.
Yeah, I
Barbara's
mean,
not
it was.
interested.
I don't know if it's grandma, but it was entertaining.
Thank you.
So
You know what? I'll take that. I'll take it.
I think that's fine.
All right.
Barbara loved it.
Next.
did. She clearly did.
You guys were having a conversation over me, so I was just letting it happen.
Well, I mean, do you want to switch spots? I think that would be more.
No,
awkward.
that would ruin the order.
Yeah.
That'd break my brain.
Yeah. What would
Break
that be?
Blake too.
Rope side.
Hey yo.
Do you guys have any personal goals that you're currently striving for? That
Get
you'd be
better at
willing-
doing grandma.
Oh, dude.
No, genuinely, in life. Is there anything what are you working on? Anything? Anybody trying to improve even a little bit? that you
Well, of
wanna
course.
share?
If you're not, then what's the point of living?
That's a very great statement. Very true. Even in the
I'm trying to
craft.
get healthier and cook my own food more instead of just ordering out or getting, food from someplace. And it is actually amazing how much better you feel, even if you just do that for like
You're probably
2 days.
saving
You
the
notice a
dough,
difference.
too.
It's crazy. So.
That reminds me of Andy from The Office. He's like, you know what, my New Year's resolution is I'm gonna learn to cook for one. I don't need your sympathy. It's just real. Just gotta learn. I usually cook too much. I'm gonna learn to cook for one because he's lonely. I didn't do it as good as he did. I'm gonna stop.
Poor Andy. He's such a lovable character.
Barbara, do you have any personal goal or goals you're working on?
No, I'm perfect.
Nice. That's not what Trevor said.
Barbara has mastered self-love.
What?
I actually.
No, I don't. I mean, always trying to improve myself. I think these last 2 years have kind of been very difficult for reasons that we all, I think, understand. And I think just I need to look into therapy, which is something that I've been meaning to do, which I think everyone should try to take the time to look into for themselves. But also just, I think I have trouble following through on things. So if I'm like, I really want to start this new habit or this new hobby, or even like little things like, oh, I should try to get cardio in once a week just to like help my heart health or something like that. And just like sticking to a routine and sticking to something that I want to try doing more, I have such a hard time doing that. Because then
I'm in the same
I'll
boat
make
as you. We need to help
excuses.
each other.
Yeah, exactly. And you need accountability sometimes. And I think it's just, sometimes I just get lazy and I make excuses, which I think you should be nice to yourself. And if you do need time to relax or take a mental health day or a U day for a week or month or year, whatever it is, like you should do that for yourself. But I think I've used that excuse one too many times. Yeah. And now it's like, okay, maybe I should actually start improving myself.
During from like 2019 to now, there was a lot going on in my personal life, and I took almost the entire quarantine to start going to therapy more and working through all of that stuff. So I think I've actually come out of quarantine. Well, we're still in the pandemic, aren't we? A much healthier person and a much more strong and confident person. Because of that, I'm starting to look into potentially directing animation, which has been kind of like a fun thing. A friend of mine, maybe within the last few months, has been like, yo, we're gonna need directors here for insert company name. You wanna do it? I think you'd be good at it. And I'm like, oh my God, I think I could be good at it too. And it's exciting to like have that sort of self-confidence in yourself to be like, you know what, yeah, I could be good at that. Because it's so hard, I think, especially with people with like imposter syndrome, to be like, you know what, yeah, I am good at this and I can do this. And the whole like the positive self-talk is so important, because I even if I'm joking in my head, like I'll say nasty things to myself, even if it's a joke, and it'll give you a negative impact. So positive self-talk, and also like learning new skill of potentially directing and stuff, and just being kind to yourself and being like relating to things in a healthy way, like especially triggers or something like that, because you can definitely. That can be bad. Anyway, yeah, that's me.
Well said. Thank you. Good luck on directing. I think that's great legs. Wonderful.
I just like, probably most similar to Barbara, and I think the word, like to summarize what you were saying, is like balance, right? Yeah. Just trying to find like a feasible balance, right? Because you do need to give yourself days, right? You do need to be like, look, I don't need to be super harsh, but you also do need to be like, I should do something.
Balance.
You know what I mean? Like there is
balancing
like
self-motivation.
You know, you do need to like, you know, if you're gonna give yourself leeway, you also have to give yourself like, you know, you have to put in the time of stuff you know, quote unquote have to do. And so for me, and like Lindsay, just in general, it's just trying to balance like doing our work already that we enjoy, doing new stuff that's exciting to do, that we might be just fun or a good opportunity or whatever, but also we gotta have time to spend with the kids. We have to have time to like not be working all the time. I stream, but it's like there's so many times where I go, I could stream right now, and that's like a moment where I choose to just not do it and do nothing instead. But nothing is like spending time with my family instead of, you know, streaming something for 3 hours because I really should, you know. But then I finally go, yeah, but like I don't want to blow it off for 4 weeks, but it's like I gotta stream today, and then I go, well, I don't have to actually. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it the day after. And that's my thing right now. Just trying to like balance shit, not burn yourself out, say yes to stuff, but not do everything. And I mean, you know, I'm getting old, man. I'm old, I got kids. I gotta choose where my energy is gonna go at this point, because it's like I don't have energy or time. So
it makes so many different sounds now when I sit.
That's my old man struggle.
I don't know where I saw this, but instead of saying like I have to do this, say I get to do this.
That's very true.
And that's a game changer. Weirdly enough, just changing the way you say it.
Yeah.
It becomes more of like I have this opportunity, like I was
get to, or I ought to. Instead of saying I need to.
Me getting to stream isn't really a game changer.
I know, but like you understand what I'm saying. Like instead of being because like I'll be exhausted and I'll have to do like these 3 auditions, and it's gonna be a pain in the butt to like set everything up. But if I change it to I get to do these auditions. It's different.
It's true, because I actually use that terminology a lot, like when I'm talking to Sarah, our office production like coordinator, manager, supervisor. She's got like promotions. I don't know what that is. I just call her Sarah. And I'm having a nice conversation with her, and then someone else chimes in and goes, "You have to deal with him every day," and then I say, "She gets to deal with him." So I use that. That's actually true. I say that
as good
much as possible.
I'm gonna start changing it to, instead of I have to go to the bathroom, I get to go to the bathroom. So I'm gonna start telling people that, where it's like, sorry, I get to go to the bathroom now.
But honestly, like, if not everybody gets to go.
I was just talking about like have to do is like shit I really don't have to do. Not like have to do, it's a good opportunity. You've made good opportunity points. I'm talking about my shitty Twitch channel.
Yeah.
Hey, if you follow me, thanks.
You're doing really good on this channel.
Hit on it a little bit, but just kind of, for me, I guess, newly navigating the balance between the work that we do and being a parent. Because while there is some crossover, obviously, they're kind of separate worlds. I love being a mom. I think it's awesome. I never thought that I would be the kind of person to love it. But then I started dating Michael, and I hung out with my nephews, and I was like, wow, I think I can do this. And I have found it very, again, not to be too cheesy, but I have found it very rewarding, and I feel much more whole as a person. So now I'm just kind of, headed into my 30s.
Mama
PTA meetings.
You're there. You're not heading in. You're there.
Quiet, Michael. I'm 26. 26, Michael.
You've been here a while.
Only 2 years. Quiet.
No,
you.
Lindsay,
Almost 3.
we're not 20. We're 16 times
There
2.
you go. Dude, funny anecdote, which a lot of people here can talk about, and we'll just go ahead and mention it because now that we're talking about it. So, we went to a convention at Salt Lake Fan Expo. This is pre-quarantine, the before times.
Yeah.
The before time.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah. Mr. Tom Holland himself was there. I'm kind of a fan.
Oh my gosh, is this...
the story we're about to tell? Yeah.
Sorry, Barbara.
Oh, you're good. No, I told Barbara about it later.
Barbara
I was
didn't
like,
get to
boy.
go.
But it was. Sorry, Barbs. Listen. It was cool because it was also my birthday weekend. So literally the day of my birthday, we have this just like convention party that's for all the guests, and he's there, and I'm like, man, like don't freak out, man, keep it cool. And my agent politely introduces us, Tom, Lindsay, Tom, and I'm kind of an a-hole, and I make jokes. So my agent goes, it's Lindsay's birthday, by the way, and I go, freshly 18.
Yeah, I remember that.
The look on Tom Holland's face, and when he goes, what? And I was like,
He doesn't sound like it.
I've aged very well.
Doesn't sound like it. Yeah, no, he was just like, what?
Who
What
are
are
you?
you talking about? Like, I don't know what you're saying.
nice to know.
That was your interaction.
It was great. I was just like, happy birthday to
Nice
me.
kid.
Yeah, we saw him. Well, not we saw him. We watched him in Uncharted, the new movie that just came
Yeah,
out.
no, he was there with us.
He was
in
there with us,
spirit.
watching it
We
with
saw
us.
him. I kept talking to him during the movie, but he wasn't talking back to me.
I just
So rude.
I'm forever
Tom, it's
thinking of Tom Holland as like 16-year-old Spider-Man because
Yeah.
he plays like such a great Peter Parker, and then seeing him as like adult
Right.
Uncharted
Yeah.
Nathan Drake, I was just
Right.
like, this is I
You're
cannot
like
separate.
jarring.
Yeah.
Is it even more surreal with you, just the connection with Spider-Man now, knowing that you acted along Guy and Cher? You were there, Barbara. You were with Ned.
Who?
Bloodfest, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ned.
Jacob.
Yeah, I was like,
Jacob
Mr. Jake.
Batalon. Yeah, this was, I think, before he was really blowing up in Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he did a movie with us at Rooster Teeth called Bloodfest.
Oh, is that the same guy? Oh, cool.
Yeah, and he is so funny. And he is always stoned. It's really funny. He'd like come back from his trailer, he'd be like, all right, what scene are we doing? And I was just like, what's up, dude?
I was doing a temperature check in my head, and it's like, can you say that on the Rwby panel? But it is Vegas, so I think it's fine here. Stoned! This is for children!
Shut up.
He was trying to meet Santa Claus.
Dude, Vegas is cool when you get it, when
my
you get
turf.
picked up at the airport and they go, hey, is this your hotel? And we, yeah, it's the hotel. And they go, cool, want to go to a dispensary on the way?
Oh, we're
like, no, but
fine,
thanks
thank
for the
you.
offer.
We have McDonald's at home. Thank you, though.
Right, it's like, that. What a nice gesture. No, thank you, but they're like, yeah, whatever, just look out the window, you'll see them.
That's what I was saying. It's surreal coming from Texas, especially when we travel to places like this, and I go, you can buy drugs over there.
I'll be honest, you know, it's crazy. You've seen people smoke indoors.
I
That's just
hate-
like,
I
I haven't
hate
seen
it
that
so
in like
much.
15 years. I was just like,
I hate it so
I
much.
wanna
It's
go,
nauseating.
that guy's smoking.
It was
Yeah.
Michael was
Yeah,
like,
he's allowed. Stop.
There's a guy smoking
There he is.
cigarette over there, and I was
You're
like,
gonna get the fine.
Get inside.
When there
Actually,
are
the
people,
fine.
when there are people with like alcohol, like yards of alcohol,
Oh, yeah,
walking
that's
around
weird, too.
outside, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We're not in a theme park.
No
Hold
rules
on.
here, baby.
The smoking thing really just like, no thank you. Just saying.
I remember, like, it made me think of right before we left. It was just like a common, like, any day thought. I was driving past somewhere that was like a restaurant, like it's like a donut shop or something like that. And I was driving by, and there was a guy standing outside smoking a cigar. And I literally just said to myself, because it's such, like, days gone by, I was like, that guy's not, like, 20 feet away from the front door. Right? Because that's, like, the smoking. Like, you can't even smoke outside of the building.
You start going, what?
You have to go, like, 20 feet away from the building. And I remember going, like, ooh. Quite the gamble, buddy. He's smoking out in front of the door, and then I get to Vegas, and I was like, what's happening here?
Are there any laws in this
is
city?
like this is like being in Denny's again.
It's just really the strip, you know. It's all the hotels and places.
Right.
Barbara, Michael called Denise and asked to be picked up because he was scared.
Denise is his mom, by the way.
They know. Denise will probably be. Well, Denise will probably be in Rwby before Sun is.
I'm sure.
Back. And I want her name Denise. I just want it to be Denise.
All the lines are just gonna be like, Michael, what am I doing? Michael, what is this?
Stop being fresh.
What are you putting in front of me?
She says stop
That's
being
her
fresh.
That's her favorite word.
Really? What does fresh mean?
Fresh means
Don't get
like
fresh with me.
Sassy.
Yeah, fresh means like you're being not nice. You're being
Ornery.
Attitude.
yeah.
Big word.
Yeah.
My grandma always said that.
Yeah.
She's being
Don't
ornery.
be
Fresh.
fresh.
Kara,
Don't be
that's
an
a good
a-hole.
I thought fresh was a good thing. Like,
No.
that's
well,
fresh.
It's context.
if I may,
No.
Context.
I am white. However, one can be fresh to death, is what I've heard.
That wasn't it
Yeah.
either.
Yes.
It was don't be fresh or I'm gonna put soap in your mouth.
Then you'll be minty
I got
fresh.
that too.
Yeah.
Wait, no, just
No,
kidding.
it was just
no,
like
lavender fresh.
no, it was more like
Have you ever had?
you know,
soap?
like when you see the duck covered in oil and they wash it, but imagine if they just squirted it in his mouth.
That's what she said.
It's kind of like that. Is that Dawn? Yeah.
Or something.
Dawn, it'll get your mouth clean.
No more.
It'll get those bad words out of
You'll
there.
get the greasy ducks out of your mouth.
I'm
Yeah.
just
All that
imagining,
Dawn.
Turns out it didn't work.
I'm imagining your mom just giving you a bath with a toothbrush and soap, like they do with the little ducks. When
Don't
they
imagine that. What are you talking about?
That's
just like scrubbing your belly with a
What's the matter with
toothbrush.
you?
It's cute for a second.
Too old to be sitting the way I
Kara,
Yeah.
a good explanation too for fresh. For Southerners, they were cruising for a bruising, Kara. They were cruising for a bruising. Right?
Yeah, but that sounds worse when you think about it, because it just means I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah, it's not, you know.
You know what I mean? Like cruising for
My
a bruising
parents never
sounds
said
fun,
cruising for a bruising.
but then if you actually
Like,
do
don't
it,
get
it's
fresh.
awful.
My parents-
My
horrific.
parents always said, don't
Act
talk
of
back to me.
violence.
Don't talk back.
Yeah,
Like, don't you talk back to me? And I was always so confused because I was like, but I'm supposed to talk back to him. Like responding, I thought that talk back meant like, I'm responding to you, I'm talking back to you. But no. So.
My mom calls me poop.
It's very rude.
That's cool.
My dad has since called her out for it, but she calls me her little poop.
Oh.
That's it. It's weird when you think about it. I
That's
tend not
that
to
weird.
think about it.
My daughter calls me poopy head.
Poopy. Oh, that's
She
adorable.
is 4, to be fair.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
that,
you
is
find
that
that you're
considered
catching
a
on.
bad word?
Poopy head.
No.
Poopy head is okay in our house. I'd rather her say poopy head at home, just not in public.
Yeah.
She's just screaming poopy head.
I lay down the
in
law.
the grocery store. Poopy head.
I lay down the law. I say, no poopy head at school, no poopy head in restaurants. Poopy head at home, all you want.
I love the word poopy head now.
It's great. And it's like, is poopy head a bad word? And I go, no, but other people might care. And let's let them do. I don't need somebody calling me saying,
A bad
my
parent.
kid saying poopy head. Because then I'd go, who cares?
My kid's saying poopy
But
head.
then I'm
I
gonna have
think
to
it's
deal
your
with it,
daughter's
right?
fault.
I'm literally at 4 basically telling her, these are the rules in our house because people worry about stuff that doesn't matter. So just like pretend to care around other people. It's just not worth it. That's how I teach her. Why can't we do this? There's no good reason, but it's just not worth it. Don't worry about it. Poopy head all you want at home. I don't care. I don't care. I said like,
You get to
shoot.
poopy head
I
at
said like
home.
shoot or dang it or something. And she was like, you can't say that. I was like, what? She's like, shoot basically. She can't say that. I was like, you can absolutely say it. Go crazy. Who told you you can't say shoot? Wrong.
Grandma?
Back off.
If anything, I like that, poopy aside, of course, It's encouraged us to be more creative in some of our insults. I kind of like when she approaches me and says things like, avocado eyes. I'm like, what does that mean? Are they that guacky? What's up?
I can totally see she probably saw a half of an avocado and thought that it looked like an eye. Half of an avocado probably does.
You got me. Whoa.
See, I would have thought it was like, I've got really green eyes. I couldn't even say green. Green eyes. And I'd be like, thank you. She thought the avocado eyes.
One of my favorite stories is something that happened to my older brother when he was a kid. This was like, I think in the first or second grade. One of his friends told him that the middle finger meant thank you. And so in class, his teacher was like handing out different things, and he did it. And he got sent to the principal's office, and he was like, I thought it meant thank you.
I used to throw the middle finger up quite a bit, but then every time someone would yell at me, and I'd be like, whatever, in some countries doing this is bad, and that's not true at all.
This means F you and
yeah, but I would just like, it would be like, it's just an arbitrary finger. It's not.
Right.
It's across the world.
Right.
Yeah. But no, my parents were like, you should be a lawyer because that's the dumbest way.
I like the idea of you giving someone the middle finger and them yelling at you and you going, well, somewhere else they don't care, and then the other person going, right, you're here though. So
no one ever gave me that response. No one ever gave me that response back though. Like, well, you're
right. There you go. Okay.
Well, head. That's true.
All right. You want another one?
Sure.
Yeah. Hit us.
Do you find reaction shots in the studio to be challenging? And what I mean by reaction shots is.
Oh,
yes.
Efforts.
Yeah.
Efforts. I hate them. I used to hate them. We called it, wait, can I say it? I mean, he's already said a bunch of bad words. Okay, we call it poop or sex.
Poo-poo or woohoo?
Poo-poo or woohoo, because you're like, or like, ah! Like, those are the noises that you have to make for these things. And it could be so many different sounds, and it's so unfortunate.
Well, that's what I like. Those are the base level, which is funny, you get repeated ones, but totally, it's like you're guaranteed if you're doing efforts that you're gonna go, those noises at some point are gonna come out of your mouth. But also, I like when there are situational efforts, like we did Blaze Blue cross tag battle, which was awesome. So much fun to be a part of. But yeah, they had some elemental attacks, and we were receiving and sending them too. So one was, what would Rwby sound like if they were electrocuted? And I was like, give me a second. So I just thought of the scene from Jurassic Park when Grant's pretending to be electrocuted. Yeah, so I sat in the booth and I went, it's really fun.
Because of that, they told us that that's how you did it. Because I was like, well,
they brought a wooden little stick basically they've told me, they're like, so grab that like wooden stick over there, and I'm like, okay, voice actor, yes. You know, just hold it out in front of you and act like you're getting electrocuted. And I'm like, what?
Yep. Shout out to Alan Grant.
And I did it. It worked out really well. But it's also really hard when they're like, okay, now imagine that you're running really, really fast and you're jumping off into a volcano that's 100 feet below you, and you know that you're going to do it, but you're sacrificing, but then you're like, okay, I know what it's like to run and jump off of into a volcano. And then you do something, the worst part is when you have it all in your head, like, okay, got it, and then you just do it, and I'm like, that is not the sound that I was expecting to come out of my mouth right now. Let's try that again.
Is that my sound?
There's those really big ones like that, but then there's also the really awkward, uncomfortable ones where like your character's just running down a hallway for like a minute, and so you have to go for a whole minute, and it's just as awkward as doing something like that.
I think efforts is like the real defining moment of how awkward a recording can be. It's obviously like always a lot easier if you know the person, right? The director, whether you've worked with them before or like at Rooster Teeth, like people we know outside of that booth, you know, being friends with people, whatever. But you know, maybe you don't know the person so well, it's your first time doing them, and there's already that awkward thing of like, you know, just doing your lines, like, oh, I hope it's a good performance and this and that and whatever. Then you get to, it's like, all right, and and you're just doing that in a room, and like I always like move when I do it because it makes it less awkward. but it looks even more awkward because it's just someone going, eh, like in a room, and then like the best part is you do it 6 times, and they're just clearly you haven't done it yet, and they're just like, how about like this? How about like that?
Yeah.
But Rwby is pretty great as far as back when I used to do it. The efforts, again, because they animate to us, it's like, obviously there's a script and they're like, you know, you're gonna jump here and you're gonna do this and that. It's just much easier for them to work with our, you know, they, in a sense, animate to our, you know, voices and movements and stuff like that. What's crazy, like challenging for me, not being like super experienced at it, but doing it enough where I do it, is dubbing. And a lot of like, you know, like really big Japanese animes, like it's just so anime stereotypical of like every single like scene, someone's going like, there's like a smirk. Or, there's in real life there would be no sound, but in anime they're like, we can't just have 4 seconds of silence, so someone's gotta go. Someone has to go with their. This is really good. That stuff's always insane, and it's always abbreviated, so it's like parentheses and MNS. It's just like, you get an MNS, it's mouth not shown. You're like, oh, thank God, because you don't have to like match anything. Yeah. It's like the guy saying it off camera. That stuff stresses me out. It's like, line, talk to a guy. This is what the guy says, got it. And then it's just 6 lines of gibberish, because it's like IRTTQQ5, and that's like, oh, we need a 5-second closed mouth, one eye open cry, and you gotta go until the scene changes. And you're just like, oh, okay. And then when you're dubbing, there's beeps. So it's like beep, 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 and you're like, do I open one eye cry now? Like, that's always stressful to me. I'm so bad at that. It's so fine. And then they record it, they edit it, they put it in, they play it back. They're like, perfect. You listen to it, and it's like, and it's. It's like, no one's gonna hear that. No one's gonna even know I did that.
But they're like, perfect, just what we need.
That's anime, dude. That's dubbing. It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree that, like, I think that is the more challenging part of doing efforts. Like, I really enjoy the fighting sounds, punching, getting hit, falling over. All that stuff is fun. It's when it's like, all right, we need a closed mouth sigh. Yeah. All right, a little louder. All right, now open mouth.
Too breathy.
Like, it's like all the closed mouth, open mouth stuff where it's like so subtle and you don't necessarily know, like, because you've never made that sound in your normal human interactions before. Right. So that part is always, I think, more challenging.
I like to dubbing school because sometimes there are mistakes that the director and the editor find right now, like in the Japanese version. So they're going through the lines. And then there's like they call them flaps, which is usually just like when someone's talking. And they're like, oh, there's a flap there, but they didn't record it. Like, they animated him saying something, but there's no Japanese audio. Yeah. And so now they're like, well, we're not gonna do that. We have to put something there. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, be like, be like, yeah. Just like something fast, something, one flap. We gotta make up a word right now for this to make sense.
One
like,
flap. One flap to work with.
I like the like leniency with that, like having to dub it from Japanese to English, and you can kind of just do like a loose version of what they're saying to make it fit, because it's
oh yeah,
you gotta make it fit.
Yeah, right? You gotta make it fit.
Yeah. I will say that, like, with dubbing versus, and one of those is bound to be good, but with dubbing, they usually take, like, the first one that you do if it works, and you're like, all right, it's done, we're moving on, because the turnaround for doing, like, Funimation work is, like, that week that episode is coming out, so it needs to get done.
Well,
so
especially with simulcasting now.
Yeah, if there's so many times where I've, like, heard my read back, because they do put it in and, like, replay it to you, and I've heard the read back, and I'm like, I hate it, but the director's like, it's great, we're moving on. I'm like, great. Hurts my soul.
You touched, Michael, on the little bit, it was like the smallest sounds that you have, but I like thinking about the times we've been to Funimation, and they'll give you some like direction, like you had mentioned, but I like the ones that don't have sound. They're like, what are you thinking? Like, what are you feeling in this? I'm like, I'm turning a page to a book. Should I be like, like,
opening up a can of Coke, like, like,
you do the finger lick, but there's no sound to it. It's like, right.
They've actually, so I've held up my dog at one point into the mic, and they've put her into one of the scenes, just going like. I also love when, like, there's such a really subtle, like, really nice moment, and at the end of it, I just go. It's the B word. just like real loudly, and then they'll play it in there, and I love it. It makes me really happy. Then they take it out, obviously, but it's a lot of fun.
We've had a number of people ask, like, can you release Rwby outtakes? And we have released some. I'm not saying we're not going to, but if anyone's familiar with RT as a whole, we get a little bit more PG-13 R-rated, whereas Rwby is very, PG, maybe PG-13 if you're talking to Tyrion. Yeah, so they're like, what are your outtakes like, Lindsay? I'm like, kind of like what Arryn said. I go, I am Rwby, yay, fun. Swear word, swear word, swear word. Okay, let's go.
I make a lot of sexy Yang jokes, not gonna lie. Blake has made many a sexy Yang
Why are they jokes?
We all know that they're not. These shoes are vintage, and the nails have come off, and so my shoes just like...
vintage.
What?
Vintage. It's vintagely coming off.
Yeah. These look like braille. Oh, I'm gonna stab
Do we have I know we're short on time. Do we have any
closer? Oh, we're out of time.
Yeah, we're out. Yeah.
My friends, thank you for sharing yourselves with us. But I will say, we are out of time. Thank you. Give them rounds of applause.
We'll be at our tables after this, so come in and say hi.
Yeah,
go say hi to them.
Swing by our tables. We'll be leaving shortly back to Austin and the great state of Texas.
Los Angeles. Thank you guys.
Oh, Texas isn't good.
I like Texas. I think Texas is good. Everybody, thank you again. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the expo, whatever is left for it.